My name is Erica. I'm from Jefferson County, Indiana. I work for the Jefferson County Commissioner's Office. When COVID hit and Okra released the COVID-19 response program, the commissioners reached out to me to see if I wanted to be the administrator for that program that Okra was releasing. The city realized that this is only incorporating the city. We want to incorporate all of Jefferson County. So that's where I came into play and got involved in broadband and became the broadband ambassador. The first step that the state lines out for you is you need to have a task force. Jefferson County, I feel any of the progress that we've had is because our task force is fantastic. I feel like even if there weren't a specific title to attach to your community, if you don't have that task force and you have went through the other steps of just passing an ordinance and becoming broadband ready just for the title, once we got our task force established, that's when I presented the commissioners with the template that the state provides for that ordinance to be passed. That wasn't an issue. It took just a matter of plugging in Jefferson County in the blanks and presenting that to our commissioners at our public board meeting. As the ambassador, I make sure that everyone that is in their role on the task force is doing what they can in their situation. When you have teachers on your task force, you want to make sure that the teachers are somehow incorporating the information of broadband awareness to not only the students but also to the parents. We have added a broadband community page to our website, and on that website I release a blog post usually about every month containing just some different information that lets the public know what the task force is doing and what I'm doing, what the commissioners are doing to expand broadband in the community. There are different things that people can do, the public can do on their own that they weren't aware of, such as they can challenge the FCC map on their own, or they can get on the Next Level Connections portal and submit their own information. Once you become a broadband ready community, that is not the last step. The next thing that you need to be able to do is come up with a plan. Whether that's a feasibility study, going out into your community and finding out where you want to spend your money, whether you want to invest your money into a actual internet service provider that is going to be building out, or whether or not you want to invest in an actual study that's going to let you know what areas need to be built out into. Once you can come up with a plan, then I feel like the state has some programs that you can be more involved with. But if you don't have a plan, once you become a broadband ready community, you can get stuck. If you want any program to succeed, you really need to sit down at the table with people that have ideas and people that are ready to do some action. You know, obviously every community is going to be different, but you want some people that are able to pull some strings and that have some connections. Number one, if you are going to be expanding broadband, you should definitely be communicating with your local highway department because that expansion might be affecting your roads. You want to look into which internet service providers are in your community. We have pretty much three main local internet service providers, and communicating with them has been the best source of information that I'm able to receive to put back out to the public. If you know in your community where internet is getting ready to be expanded and you're thinking about planning to do a feasibility for that area, well, you might want to hold back and use that feasibility study for a different area because this internet service provider is about to do a build out in your area. If you don't have communication with your internet service providers in your area, you can run into a world of problems and issues. So Purdue has a local technical assistance program. The acronym for it is LTAP. LTAP has a packet that rural communities can use to help understand what kind of permitting processes and what type of ordinances they need to pass in their county for when these local internet service providers are doing build outs to these extreme remote rural areas. You want the permitting processes and you want the ordinances to do two things: protect your community and protect your county so that you're not having liabilities for all these potholes or something that is done incorrectly with drainage issues or anything like that. However, you also want it to be loose enough so that your local internet service provider, when they come into your community, they're able to come into your community without having so much headache and so many permits that it's almost impossible for them. When we had COVID, there were a lot of students that did not have internet, and that was a big issue. Now there's some things that we have in our county that I think a lot of other counties have adopted. The idea of sending buses out was something that we did to try and let people use that bus as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Telehealth will be new. I don't know how we're going to address that, but telehealth is something that I see being a new issue, and if people don't have access to internet and they are in a remote rural area, having broadband would significantly help. Renisha is helping us write a grant to the Affordable Connectivity Program. It's an outreach program that they've released, and that outreach is also something that I believe will be very beneficial for our county to be able to let people know that are in lower income brackets there's help for you.